Now, we have very small crowd here. I know that one online participant is there, and others will join. Let's otherwise, we'll have to wait for another 20 minutes, 30 minutes to run. So, we're going to talk about this topic on operations management that has become very important in today's market context. I don't know whether you have studied a topic like quality management in general, maybe auditing related, how to ensure the audit quality and all that you know, right? So, in general, for manufacturing businesses, when they produce products, how to maintain the quality, how to ensure the quality of their product. And then for service industries, how to ensure the service quality. And that area is the main content here that we're going to cover. Okay. Partly relevant for your industries also, because in ensuring audit quality, you have certain guidelines, you have certain steps to follow, right? And your standards to ensure the audit quality and all. So in the same manner, now in operations management we talk about manufacturing organizations and service organizations and their operations processes, right? That they use to produce products, the operation system that they use to produce products and deliver. Service industries, how they create services and deliver. That is what we study in operations management. So this area is also very important. What is it? Quality management. When you look at modern organizations, there are various different quality management techniques, procedures, and systems they follow. So within 2 hours or so, we'll try to get a basic understanding about what are those quality management techniques, methods, philosophies. Right? It's very difficult because studying everything within 2 hours or so is not so easy, but we need to discuss it as quickly as possible. As you see here in the second slide, the key learning outcomes of this session, we need to get a clear understanding of this concept, quality, what it is, and then for products and services, how quality is assessed. Different criteria are used, different dimensions are used. So you try to quickly identify what dimensions for products, what quality dimensions for services are used. Have you come across them before? Probably no, but in different ways you may have referred to it. After that, we will focus on quality management and understand the importance of quality management activities in operations departments to ensure the performance of operations departments. And then, of course, for the entire business, we realizing their business objectives, the importance of quality management we will quickly identify. Then, of course, we will try to get a clear understanding on quality management techniques, steps, processes, approaches, thereby identify how operations managers should work collaboratively with quality managers and ensure quality in organizations. That is the main part of it. In modern organizations, to manage quality and to show their commitment to quality management and to ensure it, most of the organizations have these QMSs. Those QMS stands for Quality Management Systems. So let's quickly identify what they are, what are the main components of a quality management system, how such a quality management system can be designed and implemented, who are responsible, actualize some basic information. Then, of course, we should also identify, as I told you, modern manufacturing organizations or service organizations. They are practicing various different advanced quality management techniques, quality management methods. and how in the history things have been evolved gradually. So the scope of quality management that has been expanded. Let's quickly identify how things have been changed and come to the current situation. And there, what are the latest quality management techniques, methods, approaches available that you also can use one day. You should have a basic understanding how you can use them in an industry like auditing, accounting practices, because you are also managing some sort of operations in your own industry. So quality management history and then quality management techniques and especially modern trends and all will quickly identify. One of the main most popular approach is TPM approach now. So we'll identify more details about it and other developments. So when you look at the content, what do you feel? Have you studied things before? No? Oh yes. Have you? No? Do you think this content is relevant for huge accountants like you all or finance managers like you all? Well, whether you are going to work for manufacturing organizations or service organizations or in the audit field itself, right? Knowing about this quality management techniques, methods, some basic concepts will be useful. So make it a point to learn within the classroom itself and then have a clear idea about this technique. This method. Although we discuss this as a topic of operations management, quality management itself is a separate subject that has to be studied separately. So there are books written on quality management of this size that shows various different topics to be covered, techniques available, right? So quality management itself is a subject. Here, what we try to do is get a basic understanding only. Any quick questions you want to ask from me, or any point, any area that you want to draw my attention so that we can include them also in the discussion? Something that you want to know about quality. Right? Think for a while, 2-3 minutes, write down some points in action what I mentioned to you now. What else you want about quality management that you don't know, won't know, and tell me. In addition to what I explained here, so there's one person connected online. He or she also can share their views. What you want to know about quality management? Morning. So quickly join with us. How about others? Are they on the way? Right. Quickly join with us. We started this topic. What is it? Quality management. And I explain what we are going to discuss. I'm going to repeat by the way. Now I ask you to think about what they know about quality management. Have you heard of something called quality management? Yeah. So we are going to define what it is, identify what are the quality management activities and all, assessment techniques and all. In addition to that, What else you want to know about it? So that we can quickly draw our attention to them and within 2 minutes, one of Delagan now what you want to know about it. Because to be frank, I'm not going to explain all these slides. I will select only few slides that I think important for you. Quality management. Role of operations management in managing quality. Have you thought of something? So what you want to know about quality? At least 1 or 2 points from each, so that I will write down some points there. Take it. The first thing we are going to cover and decide what else I should explain. Anything from your side? Who are mainly using quality management? In the sense, in organizations, so in organizations who are mainly using quality management related techniques, practices, and all. That who are using? There are different companies. Good morning, those who came late. We started it. This is going. Hello. Yeah, more to quality management. So we try to understand what you will need to know. I explain what we are going to discuss. You are not here. So then ask what else they want to know. Now we are at that stage. So think about what you know about quality management. What else we want to know, right? So since there are different techniques, approaches, and methods, So you want to know? Right. How they are different from each other. Especially there are quality techniques and approaches, right? So the differences between quality management technique. Then there are different techniques, different methods, and yeah, good to know about the differences. So where to use which one and why they are important and not right. That's very useful point. Thank you for that. How about you?
Most using quality management.
There are, since there are many different quality management techniques, what are the most frequently used techniques in manufacturing firms or service organizations? That you want to know. You will get an idea. Right? If the answers are not enough, we can ask that question again. Right? So techniques used most often for quality management. They are only from the organization side, from the management side, from the organization side, what are the benefits? In fact, that will mainly discuss here benefits. For organizations, what are the benefits? If there are any, and why should they, the rationale behind, why should they use quality management? Like that. Hello, do you have a point? Or how can, okay, how can organizations measure the success? Usually, TQM and other techniques, if they implemented, what are the measures? Performance, measurement, indicators, or whatever techniques. Yeah, okay. You'll try to get an idea, right? Not necessarily in TQM, but other quality management techniques also, right? So measure the success or measure the effectiveness. Quality management techniques implemented. Good. Any other points? Hello? You have a point? Hello? You have a question? Others have already covered. Nothing on that again. How about others? Again, when you check your list and once you came late, not that again. All management concepts. Thank you. Anything else? As to the consumer side, consumer demand. How the quality management techniques will affect on the consumer side and the consumer demand. Impact on and their demand. The impact of quality management techniques on consumers and the demand. Is that all? Are there some more? No. Those are the areas. So, in fact, our 2-hour discussion on this topic, if you are ready to understand, if you are ready to learn something new, we will be able to cover those areas. On this topic, what we call quality management. At the beginning, I mentioned as assistant auditors or future audit managers or accountants or finance managers one day, you will also ensure the quality of your work. because there are certain guidelines given, and then of course frameworks that you need to follow and standards to maintain, right? Standards to maintain. So for you, those are regulatory requirements, and this kind of instructions given without knowing much about it, you just try to follow them. The ultimate purpose of all such guidelines, frameworks, standards is to ensure the quality of your service, quality of the professional service you offer to your clients. Have you understood it? I think yes. So we should know this, what we mean by quality and why that is important in your own industry. But on the other side, there are many other business organizations, especially in the subject like operations management. We are mostly talking about manufacturing, producing like furniture items to garment items to consumer FMCG products, various others, right? So how quality management is relevant for manufacturing organizations, how they ensure it. In other service industries like restaurants, hospitals, banks, airline services, how they ensure quality and all, that we should have an idea. So that this topic will be used. So when we look at the meaning of quality, that has different meaning. Time to time, the definition for quality has been changed. Even today, there is no one definition universally accepted for quality. So that is the truth. Is that clear? So when someone asks what is the meaning of quality, what do you tell them? There is no one definition. We have different definitions. So for different people, different organizations, the meaning of quality is different. There are certain points that we should. I have mentioned a few things here for different from different theory side. Different approaches, quality can be defined in different ways. In the first one, that is the most traditional one, we call it transcendent view on quality, where quality means excellence. If something is much superior than all the others, we consider that as the high quality, the best quality. That is not the only meaning we have for quality. There are other views on this. Just go through this product-based view. And more importantly, how manufacturing organizations look at quality and how they define it. We call it manufacturing-based view. Check if you can understand. And then from user point of view, consumer side, how quality is assessed, user-based view. Right. And there is this value-based view. Check if you can understand. Underline certain terms that are not clear. You get an idea? For products, there are certain specific attributes or measurable attributes based on which product's quality is assessed. We call it product-based view. Products with better features, factory features, we consider them quality product. Point here, and third point, the manufacturing-based view, that is the most common view. In operations management, subject like operations management, we look at quality. Check whether you can understand that. Accordingly, quality is conformance to standard. Is it? Conformance. Not the conformance, but conformance. And more importantly, making the right product first time. Check whether you can get the point. Making the right product or making it right. First, if you go to a factory, like a garment factory, a porcelain factory, or any other factory, and talk to operations managers and ask, well, what is the meaning of quality? How do you understand it? And this is the way that they might tell you. But they will tell you. Have you ever asked that question? From factory managers, from other operations executives also. Have you ever asked? No? They will tell something like, but they will tell. Particularly, they will tell you, now for each design, each product, we have well specified details. We call it product specification. Right? For each product, there are product specifications that outlines all the technical details, all the technical characteristics of that product. What is it? Product spec. So what is quality for them is, when the product is being manufactured, they ensure all such quality specifications are addressed. So the end product is 100% match with the spec. That is what we call conformance to standards. The final product manufactured in line with the spec. That is, go to garment factory. It will tell you each design, the client, when the order is given, specify the technical details of the design. Spec is given. So they make samples based on the spec. So they follow the sample when they produce the other items in the batch, right? Items in the order. And compare each aspect of it. And then verify, okay, this order is in acceptable levels of conformance and it is maintained. Clear? That is it. A subject like operations management, this is the most popular way we understand what it is. Not only available manufacturing, that available services also. Services also, there are standards. Yeah. Restaurants, coffee shops, banks, airline services, hospitals. Each service package, if that is well managed, the business is well managed, they have well streamlined operations and all, they are following this quality management approach, there should be specific guidelines. We call them service specs. What are those? Service specs or service specific that outline all the technical side of the service, including the steps, time taken, and other details. What should be included in the service and everything. So when the service is created and delivered, employees are supposed to follow those steps 100% and create and deliver a service as in the spec. And that is what we call quality score. Understood it? And that is more popular. You may write down something, otherwise you may not remember anything. Maybe you are not planning, you know, so ටික තේරුම් ගන්න. ටික තමයි නිවලට යන්නේ. අත මොකද දන්නද අන්තිමේ නෑ වගේ. වහන් ඉන්න ඔක්කොම තේරුණා වගේ ඉතින් කිරි දාන්න මොකද. ටීප් එක ගිහලා මොකද නෑ ආයෙත් ප්‍රෙෂර් ආයෙත්. ආයෙත් කරනවා නෑ. Operations management is a very practical subject. Knowing about these, all these topics, including this one, will enhance your management capability. Content that might be required. And you are also managing operations, don't forget. Now, coming to the second part of it, they emphasize making the right product first time is important. Now, what we mean by right product here? Product that is in line with the spec or standard here. So the standards could be organization standards, specs, or the standards given by the client, right? Or sometimes industry standards are there. Right? Industry standards are there. Or other regulatory bodies also create and maintain the standards in different industries. So it could be any such is relevant for them. Right, coming to the next point, making the right product first time. Now, does that mean manufacturers can't produce wrong items? Wrong items? I mean defective. Their aim is to reduce defectives as much as possible, but due to the nature of operations, manufacturing activities, due to various different reasons, finally they may produce certain defectives as well. That is unavoidable. What do you think? What made them producing wrong items or what we call defective? Quality defectives. One issue would be the cost now, right? What do you mean by here? So now they have already produced a product. For that, they have utilized materials, they have utilized labor and energy and various other resources. So that how to recover the cost? That is an issue. That's an issue, right? That's the problem. Is that they have already spent for the product, finally produced a wrong quality product, unacceptable. That's the problem. My question was, what reasons could be there? Anyway, that's a good point. What happens when they produce wrong product? There's a cost that already found, that already spent. What else? What are the issues with quality defective? I mean, if I change the question, what are the issues with quality defective? How not they? May not detect the quality defective first time. Without noticing, the product will go to the market. Does that happen? That will happen, right? And then customers might notice it. Is that an issue? They will return it. They will claim for warranty and other claims. And there will be some additional cost. In addition to that, customers will be disappointed. They will complain to external organizations, file cases against the manufacturer. Sometimes without noticing, when they utilize, they may experience something hazardous or harmful. So there will be some compensation that we will have to pay. Many issues. With factories producing low quality products and without noticing anything to market. Producing them the first time is to produce the right quality. At factories, since this is unavoidable, producing defectives, that is not their intention, but due to unavoidable reasons, defectives may be produced. What they could do with them? How do you know? Defectives has not made. If they couldn't manufacture it first time, manufacture the right product first time, what they will do? So, what they will do? Sometimes they cannot use it anymore, they will have to throw them away, discard them. Completely discard them. And if they are no, if they cannot sell them. So all the material they have already used, labor cost, machine hours, energy, and the total cost they invested on that product, spent on that product will be a loss. Understand it? That's a problem. That is the issue with poor quality products. We have to seriously understand it. As managers, as employees of organization, we need to seriously understand the issues with poor quality products, poor quality service. Otherwise, we just take it for granted. Anyway, we produce, it happens, so who will be responsible for it? We can't do anything about it. Right? Well, that's what we feel. But when we throw away a product, defective, that's a lot of expenditure we already made. Like I said, there are 10, 100, 1,000 defectives. How the business can earn profit? Instead of throwing away, what else factories are doing? That's also possible. Sometimes, if the defectives are not so noticeable or a main issue for customers, they will sell them at lower price, at discounted price. Have you seen? Factory outlets are there. Low price, sometimes at cost they sell to recover the cost. That is good so that they can recover the cost, but they can't earn profit. Sometimes lower value than the cost they have sell. They have discount. They have offer discounts. So those are the issues. Otherwise, that's what they will do. Some other remedies for these defectives. Write them down, right? So that some of these useful. What they do? One thing is completely throw away. Right? Discarding. The second option is selling at discounted prices. Maybe at cost. With lower profit margin. What else you have seen at factories? What they do? Often before going to any of those, they will try to recorrect the product. They will try to recorrect the product by taking it back to the production flow. And we call it, we call it rework. We call it rework. Have you seen at factories they send some defectives back to the production flow? Reworking. And try to fit the standard in the second attempt. That's good. Not that just throwing away is possible, that is good. But what are the issues with that, doctor? From operation side, what are the issues with that option? Reworking option. They'll have to make some additional cost because they'll have to allocate machines again, workers again, right? They will have to delay the normal production. Can you understand? So such operational issues are there with this option, reworking. So that is why manufacturing the right product first time is important. Now, that is the situation when we think of manufacturing industry. In services, also there are these common issues, but particularly about your industry, auditing practices, auditing services, accounting services, audit firms, accounting firms, and all. In your understanding, why the quality of their service? Simple. What are the issues with quality defectives in your industry? I don't know much about it. Can you just help me understand it? What are the quality issues in your industry? Are there any? You operate a service, right? So in auditing practices, auditing services, or accounting, what are the main quality issues that are commonly reported? One of the questions is the quality question. Hello? What are the main quality issues? I didn't get your point. Can you just elaborate it what it is? All right. Long process in the sense inappropriate process. Rather than just following the right service and the auditing process, when you follow a different process, like what? What are the other services?
In our organization here, that's the government.
Okay.
There are only several approvals to be taken. It
Alright.
takes a lot of time.
All right, okay. So that there can be time delays. That's very important, right? Very important, yeah. Now, because from your client side, they may have tight schedules, they may have deadlines, but due to some issues, you are unable to meet the deadlines. Is that a quality problem? Quality issue? The service, that is one of the main points. Yeah. Quality, I mean, unnecessary delays in service. In fact, it is common for many other services also. Like go to a restaurant, you are waiting on a table unnecessarily, more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So that's an indication of a poor quality. So as in an organization like auditing, unnecessary delays. The quality problem. That can happen due to various reasons. As she correctly pointed out, they don't have better procedure. So various different processes that takes time. Is a problem. What else? What are the other quality problems we have encountered, we have experienced in your own organization? Public, public
Yeah.
relations. Maybe due to the quality problems of your service, public perception, public opinions about your organization, about your services and all will be tarnished. Is that a problem? That's a common issue for both manufacturing and services, but mainly for services. Say for an example, like even at a bank or a hospital, due to some quality problems, maybe in healthcare treatments and all, unfortunately, untimely deaths due to some quality problems of the diagnosis or treatment process and everything, right? Negligence of the doctors or the staff and all. So that could badly affect on the reputation of this, public opinion of this, public opinion about the organization. And actually, correctly pointed out, that troubles smooth management of PR, public relations. So, those issues happen. Now, audit firms, there are many cases They have not followed sometimes the standard practices and the procedures recommended, and as a result, they have been giving favorable opinions. Right? One of them is qualified opinions. Okay. Unqualified opinions. Unqualified opinions. Why is unqualified? Qualified unqualified opinions, right? Without following the right practices, policy standards, and that has been happening for a few years. But later to see the companies not performing well. There are many accounting and basically financial frauds or financial issues in the organization. But auditor has given wrong opinion. That's the quality problem. So that the firm, its reputation will be so like. There are issues from customer side, industry side. Sometimes the survival of the company, sustainability of the company, survival will be affected. Can you understand it? So quality problems are very critical. There should be proper quality management concerns, quality management procedures, and quality management systems in organization. Especially in competitive industry, this is a market. What is your opinion with your experience in your industry? What is your opinion? Do you think business organization and auditing firms in this case, do they pay enough attention to the quality of the service they provide? What do you think? What is your opinion about it? Yeah, okay. They are more concerned about the quality of the service. That is what you think, right? Great. As customers, then for example, right? So you should be able to, you should be able to give me these are the quality management, the procedures we follow, and we ensure the quality of our service. Now, think about your experience as customers in Sri Lanka, consumers in Sri Lanka. Various different products you have purchased and services. How about Sri Lankan businesses? Do they consider quality management or quality requirements seriously, as per your opinion? How about other manufacturing, like consumer products, food items, personal care products, right? Manufactured here in Sri Lanka. When you visit some companies for auditing, have you seen? What do you think? They may be managing their quality to some extent, but there are many issues, right? Have you understood it? Many areas should develop. How about services? Like restaurants, salons, supermarkets, banks, hospitals. Have they carefully thought of it, in your opinion? A long way to go. Not adequate. There are few organizations. In case manufacturing, especially organizations dealing with the international market, supplying to the global markets, like apparel, like go to image factories, right? They are fully aware of all these quality management concepts, and they are practicing different quality management techniques and all, and they follow them. So as in printing, and then of course packaging material suppliers, some of them leading packaging material suppliers operating from Sri Lanka, they are following quality management. Otherwise, they can't survive. But not everywhere. Not in every industry in Sri Lanka. Do you agree? In hotels, restaurants, do you think they are considering quality? Transportation, public transportation. Can you understand? So that affects human life, living standards. Can you understand it? Likewise, this area. Hello, good morning. finally. So in most of the industries, there are quality problems, quality issues. So as future managers, future accountants, future finance managers, you will be responsible for upgrading the performance of organization, changing the organizational practices, introducing some quality management techniques, and try to improve the quality level of your company or the systems of your company. And for that, we try to understand what to do at home. Right? Any other questions you want to ask from me before moving to the main part of it? Just think for a while. Hello, we started quality management topic. You almost completed the first part of it. You will quickly understand. So there are different meanings. I explain one main meaning here, that is manufacturing discipline. We call it conformance to plan. Making the right product first. Making the right service first time. Any questions? As I told you, I'm not going to explain every slide here. I will show you only the most part. No question. Now, these two will give you a simple idea what quality is. Now, in modern markets, right? In modern context, the meaning of quality. Now, this is what we already explained. The meaning of quality from producer's side. We call it quality of conformance. But in modern markets, in addition to that, there is this perspective, what we call customer's perspective of quality. That means how customers assess the quality. What is the meaning of quality from customer's side? In fact, that is explained through a concept called quality of design. What is it? Quality of design. Earlier one, quality of conformance, that we understood, right? And this one is called quality of design, that we already discussed, that you can quickly understand. When a product or a service is designed, whether the product has been designed in a way that customer requirements, customer needs can be fulfilled. That has to be done at the design stage. So that is called quality of design. So in modern markets, both are important, and accordingly, this simple but more meaningful definition is given for quality, which makes more practical implication. Now, what is the meaning of quality by combining both? In simple terms, it is called fitness for customer use. When someone asks from you what is the meaning of quality, now you should have a simple idea, very straightforward idea from operations side, from modern business side. What is the meaning of a product? What is the meaning of quality? Fitness for customer use is what quality is. Fitness of what? Fitness of what? Fitness of the product or the service. Customer use. That is the need. Most applicable in manufacturing industry, but even to services, that is meaningful. Fitness of the product for customer use. Fitness of the service for customer So in the previous definition, that is what is mentioned here. Right? In simple terms, quality refers to the ability of a product to fulfill the requirements of the customer. That is a simple definition. That comes as a result of both quality of design and quality of control. According to you may see here, American Society for Quality defines quality as the totality of features and characteristics of a product that bear on its ability to satisfy given needs of customers. That is the modern way of looking at quality. Clear? There are different features, different characteristics we consider. As a total, what makes the product unique, what makes the product able to satisfy the customer. So in that respect, I'm not going to explain things in detail here. For you, that is not needed. Now, as you see here, among these two, customer view must be given more prominence. Customers' view must dominate in modern markets, otherwise they won't be able to compete. Firms will not be able to compete. Now, coming to quality management, now we just identify quality. Quality management is one thing. Quality management is one thing. Well, nothing complicated. In simple terms, now from the organization side, from the management side, there should be some efforts to make sure that their products or services are capable to meet the customer requirement. All such efforts, all such activities, all such initiatives from the organization side, so together we get that as the quality management. Some organizations' quality management efforts are comprehensive at very high level, whereas some organizations, their quality management efforts are less or inadequate. And according to the results, first company, they will be able to produce high quality product, meet customer requirements and satisfy them. And low quality management efforts to result in quality problems, more defectives, customer disappointment. So other organizations are in the middle. So different organizations may have different quality management. So the management can decide what level is needed. Mostly depend on the understanding. Especially organizations that do not understand the benefits of quality management, what they would do. I like what will happen. Do you get my question? There are benefits that we haven't discussed in detail yet, but through quality management, there are many benefits. So organizations and the management have not understood the benefits of quality management. What they tend to do? Focus less on quality management. Isn't so? That's right. Those who understand the benefits, they will be committed on quality management. That is the difference. As management educators, as field managers, what we want to see is more and more organizations committed on quality management. First, then the outputs would be of highly accepted, and in the market they can compete better. And not only from the organization side, the industry side, industry standards are elevating or upgrading, and consumer side, right? So benefits for consumers, the impact on consumers, and there are many benefits. The customers, society, their living standards, that will be upgraded. That managers should know about quality management, techniques, methods, and more importantly, the advantages. That this topic will help you. There is no secret formula for quality management. It all depends on the management understanding of what customers want and what management wants to do. Their efforts on designing and implementing reliable quality management procedures. Managers need to understand what customers expect from their products, in services, their services, and what customers expect from those purchase experiences. Hello, and accordingly design the product and produce them and deliver in a better way than their competitors to meet those expectations so that they can ensure the quality. That simple. Is that clear? Because ultimately what matters is meeting the expectations of customers. Meeting the expectations of customers. That requires very much. But I have realized it is very difficult to explain this to finance managers, accounting professionals, right? So the importance of meeting customer expectations and thereby ensure customer satisfaction, right? Very difficult to explain to finance managers, accountants, because their standards are different, their way of looking at things different. So mostly you are looking at from cost perspective, investment and return perspective. But people like us, my background is marketing and we are more in marketing. So marketing people, and then of course sales, marketing, and other business partners, they understand it from the market side. Have you studied marketing? I think yes. So in marketing, the way ultimate objective is profit here. How to ensure the profitability? How to reach the profitability? Through marketing approach. Hello? What is the path? This is the objective. This is the ultimate goal we try to achieve. What have we taught? Hello? Meeting, understanding customer requirements plus meeting them better than our competitors do, and thereby ensure what? That is the correct answer. Understanding the market requirements, the customer requirements, and meeting customer requirements better than our competitors do, and thereby ensure customer satisfaction. Next. So customer satisfaction, and through that, long-term profitability. That is the marketing approach. Aligning with that, the quality management. Ultimately, what is customer satisfaction? Have you studied it? What is customer satisfaction? How the customer satisfaction is assessed? Right, today, something right, right. Take a bath again, then make then you come again. Anyway, managers should have kind of all these subjects will be useful, and that is why you have been told. You are studying it. So why what customer satisfaction? How that is measured? Based on customer feedback, we can measure yes, true. And that what customer satisfaction is, that is what I am. Yeah, through feedback, through their responses, we can assess it. Right. So what finally we mean by customer satisfaction? As concept what it is. Accountants අපි අමාරුයි එක කියලා. තහම් ෆයිනෑන්ස් එක. ඒගොල්ලෝ feedback කරනවා. මොකද revenue වැඩි වෙනවනම් they should be satisfied. That is what you feel like. Right? So feedback, when we do market survey, we get a positive feedback, you think customers are satisfied. Then that is one way of looking at, one way of understanding. But as a concept, what is customer satisfaction? concept එක ඔළුවේ නෑ කියන්නේ. ලියලා තියෙන උත්තරේ මනිට විදිහක් දන්නවා, but you don't know what customer satisfaction is. Is that? Now, there are two aspects. One is from customer's side. This is about customers' reaction, right? How do they feel about the product after consuming? Once they consume it, consume the service. So before purchasing the product, they have what? What they have? They have expectations. Customers have expectations towards the product, towards the service. That is one side. When they purchase the product and start consuming, and after consuming, what happens? They experience the product and form some ideas in mind. We call it, hello, this is expectation. And then when they experience the product, like what you mobile, before purchasing it, you have certain expectations. Features, its performance, the benefits you can get, right? And how others would think of you when you keep the phone in this way, and you have some expectations, right? Then when you purchase it and start using it, you feel the performance of it. So we call it perceived performance of the product. Can you understand it? So there are these two. Expectations in one side and perceived performance on the other side. So what we mean by customer satisfaction? At least these should be equal. It should be equal. The performance of the product should match with what they expect from it. That leads to satisfaction. That is same for product. That is same for services. Now, when you think of certain hospitals, certain restaurants, if you are not happy about their experience, why is that? It's because your expectations are very high compared with your perceived experience. What you got from there is much lower than what you expected, and that results in customer dissent. Your dissent. Understanding? So that could be due to quality problem of the one main reason could be the quality problem of the product. So compare. It leads to customer disappointment, customer dissatisfaction. That is the issue. And what happens in a situation like this? go to a place, maybe a service outlet, maybe you purchase a product, right? Probably not at a very high price. So your expectations were not so high at the purchase, you expected something average. But to see the product is performing really well, it gives you the value for money. And beyond that, it's more useful for you. That matches with your expectation beyond your average. So what happens then? Highly satisfied. You become highly satisfied. That is important. And that is called delighted. So delighted customers are an asset. Accountants don't believe so. Finance managers don't believe so, but marketing people and operations people will believe. Delighted customers are not just customers, they are kind of assets. If they return, they come back, they purchase from us again and again. Loyal, they become loyal customers. They bring more other business. Aren't they? They bring not just the profits we can earn one time, they bring profits in their lifetime. So those are the advantages when customers are delighted. And for that, ensuring the quality is important. Can you understand it? That is why most of the leading companies all over the world, they are paying more attention on these efforts, what we call quality management. There are two things. What are those two things? One is quality of design, and the other one is quality of. What do you mean by quality of design? Designing the product in a way that customer requirements are met. Can you understand it? What do you mean by quality of control? Producing the product as designed. So both should be matched. Can you understand it? So in modern quality management, right? Modern quality management, successfully implemented, it requires a proper coordination between different departments within the organization. That you would see organizations practicing quality management in the district. So who are the departments, or what are the departments that should work together? At least these four. Marketing, and then of course product design or R&D, and then of course operation. Plus quality department, what we call the control or quality assurance. And in other industries, maybe even IT, business services and all, other important departments should also function. So accordingly, what you see is slide number 10, the kind of a required coordination between organizations to practice quality management. I think you have not thought of it in this serious plan, have you? That's serious. That's serious. So, proper coordination is required. So we are talking about operations management, right? So that is processes, system to produce product. But without other support, they won't be able to get it. Now, when we talk about quality management, we often talk about quality management staff and given the responsibility only to them. But they can do only little things. For organizations to manage quality, at least they should coordinate these departments and the top management. It begins from the top management. It begins from the strategy. And these departments should contribute. Why marketing should be here? In managing quality, what marketing can do? Customers are there, their requirements are there, and the competitors are there. Their solutions are there. So it is marketing team, marketing managers who can understand those market insights, customer requirements, industry requirements, competition, and bring those expectations into the product development using such market insights, customer insights that are very interpreted. Product design should be done. We talked about this. At the end of it, they will finalize the product spec. You know. Now that is given to the operations team to arrange the processes and start production and manufacture. By following the spec. Meantime, this is a kind of auditing team, like you, quality management team or quality control team, quality assurance team, whatever we call it. Right? They are checking these quality specifications with the product and give certifications. Okay, this is quality acceptance. They ensure the quality, and they are the main responsible party for ensuring quality. But who are manufacturing the operations? According to the specifications coming from product development. So when there is a proper coordination between these departments, then only the final product would be of high quality and that can satisfy the customer requirement. Can you understand it? So in organization structure,